Well,
Yep.
that was an interesting show yesterday.
It was a very interesting show yesterday. Michelle is an amazing person. It really was
Yeah.
an amazing.
Yes, I was quite impressed with how that show turned out. Kudos to
Nice.
Michelle and all that.
Yes, and she says she'll be coming back soon. Hopefully, we can get her, maybe we can get her back for around about Halloween. Actually, that would be quite a good idea. Hello, Stephanie
That would
Dotson Ken.
be an interesting show, without a
You know,
doubt.
you know something. If we could, maybe even get Pete on with us at the same time.
Oh, would you just get the hint? Pete is just not that into you.
Come on, I'm trying to get him on for Halloween. Come on, did you see the story that he told the other night on Twitter or X or
I'm
whatever
not
it's called?
sitting around
Oh
fucking
man,
around on.
I actually thought it was real until I read the last bit. It's scary as in. He can tell stories. He can really tell some stories. But here's a question for you: do you exist, Dakota? Do you exist?
We're gonna come out the gate with that confession, huh?
Yeah, do you exist? I mean, people, does Dakota exist? Or is it a figment of your imagination? Because he was
No,
telling us something. Where you go?
no. I'm here to come forward. It's time because
Yep,
I've learned some very disturbing things,
yep.
and
Isn't it
this
about the
information
tentacles?
needs to come out. Nothing to do with tentacles, you sick
Oh,
fuck. I'm shocked. Speaking of which, I'm shocked when Michelle started talking about tentacles, so you weren't smirking.
there you go.
But
Put me off there.
I am actually a plant by the CIA to deter you all.
Mm-hmm. Want it? Cool.
My
How
home
much do
state
they
of
pay?
Idaho does not exist.
I mean, I mean, how is that? Like Dakota was telling us before the show that there's actually a conspiracy that Idaho doesn't exist,
I
right?
want to. Oh, come on! I was wanting to see how many people actually believe that line. Come on, man! I was putting
Oh,
on my best acting face.
come on. Roger
Yeah, I didn't
Moore
even know this was a thing until
Miss
one of the
Money
local.
Penny.
At
Idaho
least
doesn't exist, Miss Money
I
Penny.
wasn't even aware of this until one of the local radio stations happened to report it. But there's a new conspiracy out there saying that Idaho, the part of the United States where I was born and raised and lived all my life, doesn't exist.
Well, you see, maybe
So
maybe it
Australia,
means a
I know how
simulation.
you feel. Damn
That's right,
flat
the
earthers.
Flat Earth Society. That's right, the Flat Earth Society that's got followers all around the globe says that Australia doesn't exist. Knowledge within. Good to see you, my
And
friend.
what about the large following they have in Australia that doesn't exist?
See, that's what I don't get. I was actually I had an argument on TikTok a couple of weeks ago where a flat earther was alive and they were going on about how Australia doesn't exist. And I says to them, I says, well, how come I've got family there? And they says, oh, they're plants. They're not really, they don't exist. And I says, aye, but they've came to weddings and funerals and stuff like that, but they're actors. And I'm like, are you serious? I don't know what you're taking, but I want some of it. Because honestly,
Right.
I mean, seriously, you say that my cousins that stay in Australia and Sydney and Melbourne and stuff like that don't exist. They're
I know. I was like,
actors.
what is with the? I don't get some of the logic behind people. We're going to like this Idaho thing. They're saying that the only evidence that Idaho actually exists is Idaho potatoes, and and it's like, what about the movie
It's,
Napoleon Dynamite?
that's something I've
That
even
was
found.
filmed
You
here in
know,
Idaho.
that's right. It was Napoleon Dynamite. Was phone? That's right. I forgot about
What
that.
about what about Aaron Paul? The guy Jesse from Breaking Bad. He's from Boise.
I didn't get that, is it? I did not know that.
Aye. And here's one for you younger folks. What about the voice actor for Patrick Star?
Who's
He's
Patrick
spent
Star?
quite a bit from SpongeBob.
Oh, right. That's for your generation. We used to grow up watching SpongeBob SquarePants. I was never keen on that. I always wondered how they had the barbecues going underneath the water. I was one of the
Oil.
things.
That was actually created by marine biologists.
Was that? I didn't know
Aye.
that. My niece Rebecca, she used to watch it. And you'd come into the house and you'd hear SpongeBob SquarePants lived under the sea, and that's what you would hear. Is that how can I have a global flat Earth society? See, that's the thing, Dots. We are all actors right now. There'll be flat earthers watching us right now. They'll be like, aye, they work for the CIA. They're here to brainwash us. Oh, I heard
Which
one the other night how the aurora borealis was actually caused by the LED screen in the sky malfunctioning.
by the LEDs in the sky malfunctioning.
Yeah, Ken, how the flat earthers say there's a dome and how it's like a big TV screen, everything's projected. Well, seemingly there was something wrong with the LED screen to cause that.
I, I, I don't know,
Honestly,
man.
it's the idiots out there. They're everywhere. I mean,
They are.
seriously, I'm always getting strikes. I'm surprised I've not been banned on TikTok, to be honest. It's maybe because I buy stuff off the shop, but I'm always falling out with somebody on TikTok. The sheer stupidity on there.
When aren't you falling out with somebody, man?
I know. It's a kind of hobby that I've got.
Yet you are one of those people who likes to set fires, then bitch when there's smoke.
No. I was good. Right. I was going to say this, right? I mean, the Flat Earth Society, come on, let's face it, they're all idiots. They can't, anybody that ever comes up against them to talk about anything, they either ban them or block them.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody like scientist comes up, they'll ban them, they'll not let them speak. The Earth isn't, look, I do believe there is things on the Earth that we've not seen yet. I do believe there may be islands out there and stuff like that that's maybe hidden for some weird reason. But I think that, what was that?
That was my sister dying in the other room.
Oh, that's all right. I was wondering. I thought you had an apparition of a woman there in the room next to you. But anyway, look, you've got to admit, the Flat Earth Society, they're all complete morons. They really are.
Yeah. And hey, Flat Earthers, you want to come on the show?
They'll not come on there because they can that they'll lose.
I know. It's like, come on, plead your case.
Look, they started going on about saying that the moon's out now and that's no normal. I can remember when I was 6 at the primary school in the morning looking up and seeing the moon. The moon's always out during the day. People don't realise it. It's always out during the day. It's just you can't really see it sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, because of how the refraction of the Earth's atmosphere can actually cause it to look like it shows up.
That's what I did find interesting last. Right, see the aurora, those pictures that I showed you in the video that I put out. When I went outside to look at that aurora, I could see this weird whiteness in the sky. I couldn't see any colours. But when I held up my camera phone, I could see all the multicolours. And somebody was telling me, a scientist guy was telling us, seemingly there's something in your eye can't really pick up what's really happening. It's actually the sensor in the camera that picks it up better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was told. But I was like, holy shit, I've never seen it like that.
Here's the thing. When a lot of people don't realize, when the auroras actually reach the latitudes that, say, we're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say that's actually a bad sign.
Yeah, I know.
That it's not supposed to come this far down.
No.
So we're kind of at the tail end of it. So that's why it's a little harder to see some of the colors. The further up north you are, you be able to see some of the colors clear as you're right where all the solar radiation is getting dumped off into the Earth's atmosphere. But yes, the time lapse and night mode on your cameras are usually what you need in order to see the full color.
I'm going to say this, where you said it's usually a bad sign seeing the aurora this far down. Pardon me. I've heard people that worked at Aberdeen and worked in Norway and stuff like that, and they've seen this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've never ever seen it. But I've never experienced anything. I was talking to somebody the other day there in their 70s that's lived in the village all their life, and they're like to me today, they're like, I've never seen anything like that. That is a bad sign. Now, is it because the poles are meant to be flipping and we're losing the magnetic field around the Earth? Is this why we're seeing it?
They do speculate that the poles of the Earth are getting ready to flip, and that could very well be part of it. But the last time we've actually had a solar storm reach that magnitude, they say, was about like 20 years ago. And I remember back then, because you had to kind of get to, like I said, at least a second story building and with a good view, unobstructed view of the north to be able to see them. But to see them like we did, we're gonna see a lot more of that. Actually,
Yeah, that's what's worrying me. I mean, there's dots saying higher solar activity. Do you ken that actor? Is it Dennis Quaid, Scott? You ken who I'm talking about?
Aye.
He actually did a video, oh Jesus, about a year ago, and he was actually going on about this. He was saying that if there is like a G5 and up solar flare, it'll fry absolutely everything. Your phone, everything.
It only goes from a G1 to a G5. That storm was a G4.
See, that makes you wonder: is there another year on its way?
Possibly. And there's very little that can be done.
I mean, the last time there was a massive. What was the Carrington event? What was the Carrington event? What size was that? Was that a G5?
The which one event?
It was the Carrington event, and it was before we started really using technology. It's when it's seemingly all the transmission poles which came for the Morse codes and stuff like that, they all burst into flames and stuff. What was it? I clearly said Dots has got at the Carrington event. When was that about? Yeah.
The Carrington event was about the 1st and 2nd of September in 1859. I'm actually looking it up right now.
And it seemingly set fire to all the communication poles, and that's when we were just starting to use, like, sending messages through like communications, and they all burst into flames. And they said if we had technology at that time, it would have been wiped out.
It would have.
Yeah.
It would have, without a doubt. In fact, I mean, have you seen any? I actually had some weird shit starting to go on as it was starting to become visible here. But have you had any weird tech issues on your end?
I've had, strangely enough, the Xbox. I was playing that the other night just for something during the day, and it was fine. It was absolutely fine. But I noticed I was playing Elite Dangerous, and I could only play on single player because the multi-tier servers were down. I looked it up, and it was something to do with the solar flare. But I'll tell you what, I did lose my 4G. It kept going off and on and off and on and off and on yesterday.
It was weird. While I was outside watching the storm, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning for me when I finally managed to get my ass out of bed. It was you and a couple other people all over the place. We were all kind of swapping photos with each other, just kind of catching what we were getting. And it was weird because some people were sending me messages through Facebook Messenger. The messages would come through.
Yeah.
You would have that little pop-up that shows you first like few sentences. But I go to open it, Facebook Messenger would go to crash.
Yeah.
It would be like, I've never talked to that person before. The conversation was still going. We were still able to send stuff to each other. A couple people were wanting to call me out. I'm just like, shit's getting kind of weird, but that might not work.
I was told that the military were experiencing problems. I ken somebody was in the military and that, and they were telling me they were experiencing problems with their satellites and stuff. But
GPS
obviously,
satellites are usually one of the first things to get hit.
Yeah. And I don't know. I didn't experience that much of a problem. But to be honest with you, I mean, it was crazy. It was 11:30 at night when I sent you these pictures, right? I went outside and I turned my security lights, kept coming on, so I had to turn them off. And I looked round about me, and I'm not joking yet, I could see people at every single door of their house. Everybody was out. Everybody was out. And they all had their phones. and they were looking at it, they were taking pictures, and I'm going to say, right, I've seen the aurora once in my lifetime, and that was when I was, I think it was 16 or 17 years old, but it wasn't even as intense as that. It was maybe a wee bit purple in the sky, right?
Mhm.
That was far out. That was like, you ever seen the film The Knowing? That very depressing film, The Knowing. You get the one I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
Nicolas Cage one.
Nicolas Cage one, aye, where the Earth gets destroyed in the end. Aye, well, that was. I do think something's. I think it's going to get worse. Because they've been warning about this for a long time. Could you imagine the devastation? And you ken how much devastation there'll be if the power grid goes out in the US for 6 months?
Just within 24 hours. People don't realize how thin of a line that we walk with our reliance on technology. GPS satellites go out for a certain amount of period. They're constantly calculating changes in the Earth's gravity, tectonic plates, relativity, because of how time moves differently above the atmosphere of the Earth as
Mhm.
compared to down here on the ground. The slightest miscalculations, chances are you're going to have planes crashing
Yes.
in that are on autopilot. Phones are going to act a little buggy. People
Mm.
will think, oh, it's going to be, they're saying, this place I'm going is only like 2 feet to the right of where it actually is. No big deal. It's a big deal when you have such a reliance on GPS technology, especially when it comes to transport systems and electric vehicles, as a matter of fact.
Well, this is quite interesting. I watched a program on this the day. Right, it was actually last night, couldn't sleep. And see if we had a really strong flare like a G5, right? They're actually saying that. Do you know the devastation in the US alone, if the power was out for 6 months, half the population of the United States would be dead within 6 months?
Easily.
Yeah, because you've got farm and agriculture, you've got everything's controlled by computers, right? But
Hmm.
it's not just that. Everything would fail. My smartwatch, my Apple Watch, my iPhone, the iPad, the TVs, everything in your house would fry. Anything with a microchip in it would fry. But here's another point that it just popped into my head the new there, and I forgot all about this. Remember before when we've had strong solar flares, we've always seen big earthquakes.
Yeah.
That was a big solar flare. So are we about to see the San Andreas fall or a big earthquake about to happen?
It's actually quite possible. There Officially, there's no correlation between any weather phenomenon and earthquakes officially.
Mhm.
But when you really think about it, all these planets are reliant and react to the sun's energy output. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
So if something gets charged just right, we could see major activity very soon,
See, that's what I'm thinking about. Because
within the week, maybe.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I see. Everybody thinks, oh, the technology's got to go in that, but what happens if it's something more sinister? What happens if it's doing something to the core of the planet right now, or this radiation that's coming off the sun? And what happens if it causes something?
The planet would still be here. Our reliance
Oh,
on
aye.
technology, how do I put this? Our illusion of control over the natural elements. That is what would cause the chaos.
Aye. I mean, if that happened, a massive solar flare, that you've got to remember there will be countries that will survive. There will be countries that will survive that initial EMP burst because they're obviously in the dark side of the earth when it happens. If you think about it, right? They'll still get
Hmm.
some of the stuff, the satellites and all that will get wiped out and stuff like that. But let's just say China, for instance, say they survived, they would be the new dominant superpower on the planet.
Hmm.
Vice versa. If China get hot in America, you know what I mean? I think we're coming. Something's about to happen. I think it's only a matter of time. I bet there'll be either a volcano or a big earthquake this week sometime.
earthquake is the most likely scenario.
Mhm.
But why you always gotta be so doom and gloom, man?
Because it's always happens. It always happens. I mean, what have I got to say? Like, you've got to wake up one morning, there's got to be
It was
fairies
like
dancing about your garden. Like, I mean, it's going to happen. But maybe in Scotland or whatever, I'll be all right, unless there's a 2 mile high tidal wave, and then I'm fucked.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you guys are a lot closer to the sea level than I am.
No, I'm actually high above sea level. I'm 2,000 something feet above sea level. I'm
I'm almost
fine.
3,000 to 4,000.
Oh, you'll be fine then. You'll be fine then. It's people that live in the lowlands and stuff like that. You know, get your life jacket out, go to bed with a wee whistle and a flashy light. You'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll say that. They always say San Andreas fault line goes, Idaho's going to be hit come beachfront property. Oh wait, we don't exist.
I know a guy that works in Los Angeles, and he's a friend of a relation, and under his bed, he keeps a bag of tools. He
Mm-hmm.
keeps a hammer and a chisel. And I'm like, why do you keep a hammer and chisel? And he says his bed's actually designed. So you see if the house collapses around it, it will protect him.
Mm-hmm.
It's in case he gets trapped under the rubble so he can chop his way out. That's what it's for.
Yeah, a lot of high-end houses in area like California have stuff like that. They have earthquake kits.
Yeah.
They have like little storage areas full of water, canned goods, stuff like that, batteries.
Mhm.
Areas like that would probably be able to survive for a little bit of time. But that's the thing. We've had solar activity on the Earth before, and yes, it's caused some major effects, but humanity did survive.
With that, I mean, right. I mean, would it be? I mean, right. Look, let's face it this way. The earthquakes happen, but all of Facebook goes down. You see what happened a couple of months ago when Facebook went down for what? The day?
Yeah,
Folk were running about having mad panic attacks. Like, oh my god! Oh my god! I can't go! I
yeah.
can't post my dinner!
Everybody was freaking out, thinking that they got hacked and all that fun shit.
But can you imagine it? I mean, everything is dependent on the internet now.
It is, but
It's ridiculous.
that's the thing. The illusion of control is what will put us in danger first.
Yes.
The thing
Would
that
it be a
that mankind is number one. That's always what's going to put you in the most danger.
no? There's look,
Yeah,
it is going to happen. It's just a matter of when and how long it's going to be before it happens. If it goes down, nothing will work. But eventually, they'll get the power back up again. It might take a wee while, but they will get the power back up again. But by that time, there'll have been civil wars and bloody folk running about having nervous breakdowns because they can't get on TikTok. And
we'll see the breakdowns about TikTok first before we see Civil War, man.
I don't know, man. I mean, they keep playing that civil war thing. They keep putting it out there, and different shows are doing it.
Yeah.
Civil war, this civil war, that civil war, this, all and all that.
Okay, and
It's I don't know if there's subliminal messaging in that or something like that. I mean, I don't think there has got to be a civil war, right? But the way the world has gone now, we're fighting all over it. Get what I mean? But see, this is what I worry about too. Like, say there's a big solar flare, right? And it knocks out all the military satellites. Then you have the problem. The Americans can't see the Russians or the Chinese. The Russians and the Chinese can't see the Americans, and then they think something's going on, and they fire something that they shouldn't. You see where I'm going with this?
okay, it's happened
So
before.
I know it's happened before, but I just don't know if the human race could maybe survive an event like this because we are too dependent on our technology.
Well, humans could be able to survive
I
without a doubt.
Yeah, but
It's the morons that go bug out every 5 seconds. That's going to end up dead first.
I will say this: there's so many preppers. Have you seen all the preppers that you get?
Dude,
On,
I'm from Idaho. We got nothing but preppers and Ku Klux Klan. I wish I was joking.
You still get the Ku Klux Klan. I thought they were kind of like dying out there. You still
No, we got Klan. We have Klansmen. We got neo Nazis. Apparently, I went to school with one.
So there you go. So Idaho doesn't exist, but it's full of Nazis and Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah. Especially when you go more towards northern Idaho, near all the Canadians.
There's
Seriously.
my brother in the chat there. But see, this is what a lot of people see these electric cars too. Oh my god! All these self-driving cars.
I would not want to be in one of those during one of these events. I mean, think about it. You have an electric car fire that most fire departments basically just cordon off the area and let the thing burn out by itself because there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do to really put it out.
But you think about it, if all the communications are done, they don't even care it's happening. In some of the big cities, they'll just need to leave it.
Exactly.
They just but it's, I mean, these self-driving cars, they use the GPS and all that. I mean, if that starts to go unaware, it could start having accidents, serious accidents, driving off cliffs and into water and stuff like that.
No, like I said, these geomagnetic storms, they would throw it off just by that much. But that's the thing. Those constant calculations. I mean, think about it. Say, it's something that humans do by themselves. They know the layout of their house. They know where roughly things are, to where they're not going to bonk into them. Somebody goes to shift it, and the other people aren't paying attention. People are going to start walking into it. That's essentially what's going to happen with a lot of these electric cars. Yes, they may be shifted by that much. By that much, maybe where a building is, where a child is trying to cross the street, just trying to get to school.
I did see something interesting on the program I was watching about, they were going on about if the United States lost the power for, say, 6 months. And this is the real danger. And it's not just the United States, it's everybody that's got a nuclear power station. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? When there's been like a failure in a nuclear power station, a power failure in a nuclear power station, it's got backup generators that keep the pools of water with all the spent fuel rods cool, right? And on average, every nuclear power station, there's enough fuel to keep that going for a week. But if society starts to break down, they can't get the fuel, there is going to be meltdowns unless they prioritize like getting fuel to those power stations to keep them going. You imagine what a meltdown would do?
Yeah.
The devastation.
I'm well aware, dude.
We're just too reliant. We're too reliant.
One of my aunts actually works at the nuclear reactors here in Idaho.
Really? That's wow.
Yes, I have a relative that plays with nukes all day.
You get like a guided tour and say, this is the reactor, and go up to it and touch it and all that. I says, I can't feel any radiation. I'm about fine. I'm away home. You can actually swim where the rods of the reactors are kept. You know that? Everybody thinks it's actually safe. It's only when they start heating up, they get into a meltdown and bad things happen. Hey, Jenny, good to see you in the chat. I think we've lost Dakota. You there, Dakota? Look at that face pose that he's got, guys. Oh my God. It's the reactor core's got him. Yeah. So do you, out of curiosity, Dakota, do you have a bug out plan saying you're in a country that doesn't exist? Well, a state that doesn't exist. I think the CME is affecting his internet, dudes. Does he look really happy there, didn't he? I need to take a picture of that. There we go. Oh, I got that picture there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a cracker. I think he's having technical problems. Dakota! I'm on. What was that? I'm one in my NA that had not seen the lights, but it's amazing thunderstorm. Aye, The thunderstorm, I can hear it now outside my window. It's absolutely I don't care. Like, honestly, Dakota, honestly, if there's a honestly, I don't give two fucks if there is a honestly, if everything goes up in flames. Get what I mean? Because it's I think we're
You
needing
say
to
that
learn.
now.
I know, but I think we're needing to learn to try and not rely on technology. I can just see it in a couple of weeks' time after it's all happened. Well, I miss my phone. My phone. TikTok.
Yeah, Mister iPhone everything.
Oh, so what? I like my iPhone. You're just
Mister
jealous.
Mister
You're, you're just
Apple
a
everything. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do?
I've got a big stack of books in the
Oh,
corner over
tentacle
there.
problems.
A packet.
Yeah,
Tentacles? There's nothing
sure.
wrong with tentacles. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
tentacles. What's that tentacle problem? See, that's Dots. He's had an experience with the aliens with the tentacles. So you're just jealous because you've not experienced that yet. What's that? I videoed it because I had a little fear of I could not my back door, lost my voice, calling my daughters to close it. I do like a good thunderstorm. I really do like a good thunderstorm. I've been caught out a few times in a thunderstorm. Dakota's gone, guys. He's gone.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, he's back. Why does it say that your mic's muted? That's weird, that.
Why does it say that you've been muted since the beginning of the show? So disappointing.
Iron here, crazy cleaning at
Yeah.
2:30 p.m. There's not a bit. There's it's good to clean your house. Yeah, I mean. So, out of
It's all
curiosity,
good.
what's your opinion? What's your predictions for the summer and the winter coming? Do you think we're going to see any more?
No. We're going to
No.
see exactly what we're going to see. I don't know. But the thing is, it's not going to be all doom and gloom, dude.
We're doomed. Doomed to tell you.
You're the one that's preaching about that shit.
Mark my words. If the internet goes down,
I was
society
about to say
breaks up.
maybe you should
It's
look
his
into some of
fault.
those. Maybe you should start looking into some affiliate programs that some of those doomsday preppers offer, so you can earn some money. Wow, he goes like, "Oh, it's all gonna
papers are
end.
mad.
It's all gonna
I
end.
know.
Oh
I'm going to
no!"
I'm going
My
to say
God, if
this in a.
Xbox ever goes down,
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
need a new co-host.
Oh my god. No, don't do that to me. Don't
See,
say
the
those bad words to
withdrawal's
me.
already starting.
That's not. I can go 3 days, 4 days without my Xbox. I'll be fine.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, but it's I don't know. I just believe something else is about to happen. I just believe this is the start of something. They've been warning us all for a long time about CMEs and stuff like that. I think this is the beginning of something. Might be totally wrong. Nothing might happen. I hope nothing does happen. Okay, I mean, but then again, mark my words. Dakota will be doing a live stream with a candle. You'll not be doing anything. You'll just be sitting with a candle on. You'll not get gas for your car or nothing.
Mark your words. Mark your words. My goodness, man. Why you gotta be all so doom and gloom?
I'm going to say this. There's too many doomsday preppers on YouTube.
Agreed.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely, and they're always crying wolf. It's like the story of the boy who cried wolf. Oh, this is that. Russia's attacking Ukraine. 2 months later. Oh, we're doomed. It's like every day there's an apocalypse. Oh, if you buy my book, it will save you. The world's going to end tomorrow, but I think you should buy my book.
I do not have enough time, patience, and crayons to stitch together the number of times you've come on this show preaching that exact bullshit, man.
But come on, but as it's true. It's true. It's the boy who cried.
Okay, I'm saying you're talking just like the doomsday preppers.
I'm talking like the doomsday preppers.
Now,
that's
do
what
I
I
believe people should prepare in the event certain things happens? Of course. Yeah, I grew up in a small town, practically, practically just missing a couple banjos away from being the American South. Yeah, we have candles stashed around the house just in case of a blackout all the time.
Yeah. There's Christy saying, "Did the Simpsons predict this?" No, the Simpsons, did they know they predict a nuclear war? They predicted the black hole 10, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. The Simpsons predicted that the black hole would suck everybody to another alien world.
Hmm.
And you should always have supplies prepared in the event something happens, especially if you're in an area that's prone to fires, earthquakes, floods.
Yes. But what I'm going to say to you
Zombie
is, right,
cicadas.
what I'm going to say to you is this: do you really want to prepare for a nuclear war? Do you want to survive a nuclear war? Because you'll no live for long. Even once your food runs out, you're screwed basically. I think Dakota's been took again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read a bit of the chat here. But you should always be prepared. I see you should be prepared with stuff for like maybe minor things. But when it comes to like mega disasters like nuclear war or stuff like that, there's only the super rich can really survive that with their bunkers. See, ladies and gentlemen, he's gone again, once again. You know, he's gone again. But what's that, Kirsty? But you should always see, right, Kirsty, what have you prepared for? Have you prepared for like an earthquake? Have you prepared for tsunami? I mean, let's face it. Would you want to survive a nuclear? I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting for him to come back in.
I've been here for a while. That was weird.
No, you weren't. You weren't here.
Yeah, I
You
was.
just disappeared.
Yeah, I was.
Yes,
I was here.
that's happened.
Now, what
That's
was
gonna
the
happen.
weird thing before I kicked us both out was that I would start to hear my own voice being played back to me. That was weird.
Iron Fire Horse, you got zapped.
Yeah, I've been
There's
zapped.
Kirsty, we are going to burn up in the earthquake. I mean, look, I'm going to say that San Andreas, that has got to go one of these days. That's got, and it's that Yellowstone, I know, next to you, Dakota. If that goes, you're going to need a good set of curtains in your window. That's what I'm going to say.
No, I'll be safe. I'm in high ground.
No, I'm talking about if Yellowstone blows.
Oh, Yellowstone blows. Yeah, I'd be a goner.
Mhm.
I'm in the blast zone.
I mean, that's a super volcano, and I mean, that's if that goes, it'll cause another ice age, basically a nuclear winter.
Yeah, and humans can survive the ice age too, Mr. Tentacle
Yes, that's very
Strapon.
true, because we survived it once before. I mean, well, that's what they said we did, but
It's been done.
we just need to rebuild civilization, Dakota. I just need to rebuild civilization, and hopefully the civilization after that will not be a complete idiocy like the ones we've got right now. You know?
Yeah, just look in the mirror.
There's Kirsty says, I worked on the top of the San Andreas fault. I mean, that would be epic. I mean, I'm going to say
It's
this. You know,
California, though. They got earthquakes on the daily.
see, everybody keeps saying that the big one's coming, the big one's coming. It will happen eventually.
To quote
I
Robin
don't think it's
Williams,
going to happen for hundreds of
that
years.
was not the big one. The big one could happen anytime. It could happen tomorrow, and it could, or 5,000 years from now.
Aye. Who were you quoting there?
Robin Williams.
You sounded nothing like him.
I know that was a horrible impression.
You sounded more like oh Christ. In fact, you sounded diabolical. Robin Williams' ghost's going to hit you out of the head tonight with a big slap because he does not sound like that.
Well, he did when he did that voice for that bit.
Dear Lord, take me away. Take me away. But come on, I mean, Yellowstone's an interesting place. I mean,
Yeah, no, we should take it to it someday.
I'd love to go to Yellowstone. I would like to go to Yellowstone, actually. I'm not getting into the Forbidden Valley or whatever it's called either. I'm afraid that's not happening.
No, it's not called the Forbidden Valley.
No, I've just called it that
God.
because What's it called then?
It's called the zone of death.
The zone of death. So you can legally kill somebody in the zone of death and get away with it.
No, you can't legally kill somebody. It's
So
just that because Yellowstone is technically under Wyoming's jurisdiction. That particular stretch of Yellowstone happens to fall inside the Idaho border. That's where the issue comes into play. It's a legality issue. They've been trying to fix it, but
is MD
you know
actually
that
murdered MD?
several people go missing around that area, as a matter of fact.
Well, guys, Dakota's doing a big bus trip to there. I'm going to stay back at the hotel, and I'll wait for you to come
Oh,
home.
don't worry. Just don't touch the bison.
See that? They're quite an impressive creature, the old bisons.
Mm.
So I'm just reading the chat. They've been saying the West Coast is going to fall into the Pacific. Yeah, it's nearly almost 100 years now. You're right, it is. But can you imagine how spectacular that would be? And the death toll.
You wouldn't be able to count it officially.
Who's the other super volcano in the US? It's no Yellowstone. It's another place. Where is it?
Another super volcano.
Aye, seemingly it's no, sorry, it's not a super volcano. There's a volcano in is it Nevada? Where is it? I'm thinking about. You kind of what I'm talking about. It's famous for you changed my name again. That's terrible. Um, it's famous for their hot springs in California. I seen something about it. It was on National Geographic. Colorado was an ocean at one time.
Yeah, it was. Why
So
you
was
can
Scotland.
find what? That's why you can find whale bones in the middle of Colorado.
That's right. I've heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the oldest continent on Earth?
You're just jumping random shit today. My
I'm
God.
just saying that the oldest continent on Earth. It's quite interesting. Lewis actually, he's in Spain and he found a weird bones something the other day there. It's quite interesting. I'll need to send you the pictures. But I do believe there's been disasters in this world, like the Carrington event, right? And I do believe it's going to happen, but I don't know when. Hopefully, it'll not happen for 1,000 years. But and then you get the earthquakes. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I do think that the sun can manipulate earthquakes. I definitely think that, and I'm telling you, this week or next week, there's got to be an earthquake somewhere in the world, a big one. I found a fossil what looks like us. See, he's away again, ladies and gentlemen. The Idaho doesn't exist, and this is the space-time continuum. Change my bloody name. Dear. Terrible. He's terrible. Changing my. Where is he, guys? He's not there. This is crazy. I'll not let me change my name now. See this, honestly. Oh my god. Honestly, Dakota, sometimes I really do wonder about you. You can't hear it, guys, but when people join, it says your name out in the microphone. Oh, honestly.
Hmm.
Honestly, Dakota, I just don't know. So when you go to tell us something interesting, Dakota, and I'll stay quiet for a wee minute.
I was just gonna say. I was gonna talk about the fact that we were getting some of the craft that I was getting during the auroras, man.
See, that's the thing. I got that picture for Scottish Outlooker. What was your opinion on that? Do you really think it was a reflection of the lights, street lights?
Maybe. I haven't had a chance
Well,
to give it a proper look yet.
I mean, what did you see? Like, tell us, do tell.
I actually have photos.
Oh, do you? Can you show them?
I do. I
Right,
do. I
see the
do. I
photos.
do.
I mute my mic.
Now, mind you, obviously, looking at the auroras nighttime, I had it on night mode on my phone, and my hands are nowhere near as stable enough as I would like them to be in order to do that type of stuff. But there be something interesting, right? So I got 3 photos where I was watching something in the sky, trying to take pictures of all the colors, right? Let's see if we can blow this up real quick. Right, see. Now, typical, all the lights moving in the same direction, so you can expect that as hand movement from the night mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what we'll do, mainly focus right here in the center. Come on, you son of a bitch.
The computer's getting old.
All right, see, right here. Something changes direction. I only managed to get.
I see something there. Has Dakota been lost again? No, he's back.
I didn't do it.
There, actually. Oh, I was away zooming up there, too. Honestly, you can't make this stuff up, guys. Honestly, everybody's eye was getting kicked. Eye was something going on. Honestly, don't call me Jesus Christ all day.
Oh, son, oh dear Lord!
This is what happens.
The fucking figures that the second I actually pull out the photos that I caught, something happened.
That's what it is. There's a guy in the news saying, right, wiggle the wires. He's showing booties.
No, with my own eyes, I believe I saw at least 7 different craft.
Wow.
It was active as hell that night.
See, that's.
What's up?
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if that affected them in any way. The UFOs, obviously no, because they're shielded and stuff like that. Do you think it's maybe done something to show them?
From what I've gathered, the reason why, and I know a lot of people were actually reporting a lot of spikes in activity, not just ET related, but dealing with spirits and even psychic phenomenon as well. There's something about the solar activity, specifically how strong it got. I think there's a pretty good chance it actually weakened the veil. How the flares were hitting.
Well, it's what Michelle said yesterday, how it's weakened the veil it's thinned the veil for the spiritual world.
But here's the thing. It's not. That's not all mutually exclusive. Across all the density.
It's interesting.
So anything that happened to be flying by may have gotten an inch, may have had a nice little power.
Nope.
It goes to make kind of a morbid example, a morbid thought I've had on the show before. Makes you wonder what would happen if we would bring nuclear material into a haunting.
That's actually really interesting. That what would happen? Like, but you talking like plutonium or uranium?
Yeah, I'm serious.
It would make you wonder.
The thoughts of Dakota's brain.
I mean, it makes you wonder. I mean, what could a spirit achieve? What could it do? But could it use the energy for that?
And here's another thing. All right. What would happen to a spirit if an EMP were to go off?
That's interesting because spirit use electromagnetic. Would it kill it? Well, when they kill it, because they're already dead, but would it?
I mean, think about it. We have areas like Chernobyl, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's even activity around the power plant that failed in Japan
Mm-hmm.
that's been reported. UFO spirits, and by all accounts, those spirits seem to be fairly strong.
Chemist Day, and I know you can buy it. You can buy a wee. Is it plutonium? It's very, 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 very small radioactive disc, and it will not do you any harm. You can actually buy them for
Plutonium
science
would.
sequence. I'm
Plutonium
talking
would,
about
but
this.
you
No
can
plutonium.
get certain
Yeah,
isotopes of uranium for like testing Geiger counters and stuff like
there's dots. You'll create a nuke ghost.
that.
But it's true what you say. I wonder if that would do anything. Because spirits like to drain the energy of like electrical devices. So I wonder if it could drain the energy of something radioactive that's putting off like energy.
Oh, Louise,
Well,
myself and Jenny
myself
will
and Jenny
trial
will,
it out.
yeah, go you look at his
I
island, get any
don't
nuclear
know if
power
I would
stations.
want to trust Jenny with nuclear material.
I'll be fine. Be fine.
I
Couple
don't know if I would
tactical
trust
nuclear
Jenny with
missiles. I'll be
nukes.
fine. I'll
Are
be
you sure?
fine. What could possibly go wrong? What could
Well,
possibly
first off,
go
they could
wrong?
end up with haircuts like us.
That's very true. I mean,
Then we could actually get our hair back.
I mean, it'd be interesting. You can actually buy. I've seen it. It's quite expensive, but it's a wee metal disc, and inside it there's a nuclear material, and it's sealed. And they test Geiger counters with it, right? I wonder if you take that to like an investigation and sat it next to like the EMF, what would happen?
You wouldn't want to set it off next to an EMF because it would essentially contaminate any potential interactions you would get from spirit. You would want to set the meter away from it
I know where
because
you
it's
can actually
still
get.
electromagnetic radiation. Get it
Actually,
on fucking
I know where you can actually get
Amazon.
safe. I know where you can actually get safe
Yes, ladies and
radioactive material. Yeah, actually, I do know where you can actually get safe radioactive material. Smoke alarms.
True. I'll
Inside a
just bring a
smoke
load of
alarm, there's
bananas.
a
Oh, God. Don't get Chris started on bananas, Louise.
bananas. I like bananas. Dakota likes a banana tea.
Hey, I still have the thumbnail I made for one of Elena's interviews.
Well, I'm
where
gonna
you
I'm
had the
gonna say
banana
this
in
now.
your mouth.
I'm going to say this
I
now. I
still
did
have
that
that
because
saved.
I did that, and Pete, if you're watching it, that was your dad that did that to me. Your dad put out a picture of him eating a banana, and I couldn't resist it. You show that, and honestly, the what you call it, Idaho will only exist after tonight.
Oh,
But
for
no,
God's
you can
sakes.
get some.
I'm not afraid of the Scottish. All they do is really bitch.
We don't. What about the Irish? What do you think about the Irish? I'm just waiting for this. I'm just thinking about
Very
the Irish.
hilarious people.
Choosing words wisely there, I see. Choosing words wisely. But it doesn't look. You ever heard the uranium glass?
Oh, yeah. If you get your hands on a little black light flashlight and head to like a
Yeah.
secondhand shop, you can probably
Nope. To go there. I think he's been abducted again,
not
guys.
again. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like
You keep disappearing. We can't hear
Bald
you.
and Bonkers Network LLC and Bonkers Show are not legally responsible for any stupid mistakes you do from obtaining your radioactive substances. There we go.
I'm going to say, is this the old style smoke alarms used to be radioactive? And see, the old microwaves, inside the old microwaves, and be very careful, ladies and gentlemen, when opening a microwave, taking it apart because you can still get electrocuted. But there's a part inside it that gives off radiation. There you go. That's
again,
right, Iron Firehorse.
please
That
do
vintage
so at your own
antique
risk.
uranium glass.
Oh
You
yeah,
keep it's been kept again. Oh god, this is so funny. God, you can't even make this stuff
oh
up. Honestly,
god,
guys,
why does it keep coming up as
you
chicken
called me
factor
bear
for me?
clapper.
Hey, you're the one that
I don't
started that
know.
mess. Come on, we gotta bring
I
back
don't know
some of
what's
the
I
old
don't know what's
jokes.
wrong.
Hey, we're not trying to do shows when the air's still magnetized solar flares. So
Chris Mulris rest in
what
pieces or
the
something.
fuck? I was trying to change it back to some normal for you. My God,
Oh
see, I'm
god,
such.
honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I need a holiday. Where can I go my holidays? Fukushima is meant to be nice at this time of year. They say it's awfully
That would
quiet.
require you actually getting out.
I do. I've got my passport. My passport's in its way, so I need to wait.
That
A
reminds me, I
complication with my
actually need to.
passport.
What, too ugly for this photo?
No, it's because when I sent away my mum's certificate with the passport, and then she passed away, and then we'll carry on, so we'll have to get it done again. So,
I need to
so
get mine renewed.
aye, so yeah, it's yeah, you never. I'm surprised you don't have like a. I would like to see all the space stamps in your passport get up and down all the time.
I get to go for
Yeah,
free.
I
Dual
gets to go for
citizenship.
free. You know, if I could go anywhere, I would go to Scotland and Ireland. Ireland
I
and
would highly
Scotland.
recommend it, Iron.
You see, they're looking this monster. He
Some
said
of
with his
my
own eyes.
some of my happiest memories were on that trip.
The Iron Brew, the Flat
The
Earth
Iron
sign,
Brew,
and
the
the Loch
Loch
Ness
Ness
monster.
Monster.
Hey, the new. Hey, see,
I
but I want to go to America on my holidays.
Yeah, you think Scotland's bad about political correctness? You'd get lynched over here.
Do you think so? I was going to wear
Probably.
a t-shirt that says "I love Donald" or something on it, or something like that. I mean,
Well, it
I
depends
was
on what state you go to.
I was actually thinking about North Carolina, going to see my pal Muzzy.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would want to go to that area anytime soon because the zombie cicada broods are going to be emerging here soon.
Oh, that's right. That's the flying insect things. Why are they called the zombie cicadas?
Well, this one in particular, apparently there is a sexually transmitted disease amongst the cicadas that actually causes zombie-like behavior in them, to where not only do they eat basically every plant that's in the area, but they start to eat each other.
Bugger. To
So
better
yeah,
down on that, innit?
those things get nasty.
Oh well, then you don't really need to worry because they'll eat each other.
They're trying to say that that particular virus is just one mutation away from being able to infect humans.
Knowing your luck, you'll wake up one morning in in a state that doesn't exist, and you'll see zombies running up and down the road.
That's called the fentanyl overdose.
I'm
Dude,
going.
our hospital was in the fucking lockdown yesterday.
Was it? Why?
Active shooter.
Oh god.
Turns out it was a guy just detoxing.
Look, I'm going to say that fentanyl thing's diabolical. I've been watching the people driving through. Is it Detroit? I don't think it's Detroit. It's another city in America, and it's horrendous. It's
Detroit,
absolutely
Chicago.
Out Chicago. That's what it was.
Several spots here in Idaho too.
Yeah. It's what's happening in the world's a terrible thing.
Yeah, I know I'm giving you grief about going all doom and gloom, but quite frankly,
He's been kidnapped again. Dakota.
we have happening in the world. We need a collapse.
I would need to collapse because everything's getting so expensive. I mean, for a gallon of petrol here, it's nearly £11. What's that? $16 for a gallon?
You know what think we need to happen again?
What?
Remember a few years ago, I don't know if you got it over there but there was this social media protest that went around, right? Everybody
Mhm.
was getting ticked off at gas prices. Or basically just for one day, nobody buy gas
Yeah, I
at
heard
all.
about
And it worked. There's a stand-up comedian, his name is Christopher Titus, and one of his specials, he said, just for a couple hours, everyone just stop what they're doing. Don't
that. Yeah.
work, don't drive anywhere, don't shop, nothing. Watch how much everybody on the top freaks out.
I don't know what's going to happen to this country that I'm in now. This country is, I'm not talking about Scotland, I'm talking the United Kingdom. And this country has went to utter shit. Right. I mean, I've got my friend, I don't know if he's still in there, Blue. See, he moved to Spain, and see in Spain, everything's so much cheaper. So much cheaper. It was great when the pandemic gas was half the price, and it is now. Yeah.
And you didn't have to use as much because traffic was non-existent.
That's what I'm going to say, and I'm not going to mention the name, but this really annoys me. See how I didn't get the jibby jab?
Yeah.
I see the people Pfizer have now withcalled their jab. Have you seen that?
Yep.
Because it causes blood clots. And they were all saying
It's
that we were
also
all
people, whistleblowers within Pfizer also that Pfizer
yeah. Yeah.
actually got it. Yeah, it's
It's
funny
amazing how your reception's breaking up.
too because everybody funny when you think about it, considering
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
was having issues.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
AstraZeneca did pull theirs too.
Yep.
Where the hell are you at, Christy?
I think she's in Los Angeles. I think she's in the Los Angeles region.
From how she was talking, looked like she was at least on the same time zone as me.
Look, I kind of look at people that have died, and they've all died. Colorado.
Ah, nice.
That's meant to be an amazing
I was
place
just
with the
curious.
mountains and stuff. But anyway, look, I kind of look at folk that passed away with that, and it wasn't. It was what they go kill them.
Yeah.
And it's horrendous. What's that? It's over £6 here in my part of Canada, and that is cheap actually for fuel.
You know,
That
when I
is
went to
actually
Florida last year, it kind of ticked me off that the gas was cheaper there in a bigger city as compared to what it is where I'm at.
well. It's interesting you say that, right? The local petrol station, gas station in my village, is £1.45 a litre because it comes in litres.
Yeah.
So if you work out how much that is for a gallon, right? But then if you go to the M74, which is the main artery motorway, there's a Shell service station there, and it's £1.89 a litre.
Mm.
But I'm going to say this: I don't know if the petrol station in my village isn't as good quality fuel, because when I get it my fuel for down there, my car runs okay, right? Okay-ish. But when I buy it for the Shell petrol station, it goes like a rocket. Do you get what I'm saying here? It's like there's like maybe I've been put, I don't know, maybe I accidentally put in like that 5-star stuff it's designed for like racing cars, but it does make a difference.
Yeah.
I just think this country I'm in's had it. It's totally gone. Do you know they want to put the retirement age here up to, I think, is it 85?
Really?
80 to 85 retirement age. You
Well,
know
the
why that
argument
is? Because they
is,
hope that you die. then keep your
True.
money. Mhm.
True. The argument on official statements is that, oh, the people are healthier and living longer.
No.
In a way, yes.
No new after the thing we had, the Duke of Cold or whatever it was called, where Forrest Gump called it. No new where everybody got the old that.
Yeah.
But I never got it. But I suffer for certain problems anyway. I'll be lucky if I'm here in 10 years. But I'm not caring. I mean, it's like
I need to get one of those world's smallest violins you see on like TikTok. Anytime you start up on that miserable shit, just go like.
I know. It's really that crazy. The Conservatives put it up to 67 here, and but the Liberals put it back to 65. Is that like dollars a barrel or something like that? Cents.
Yeah.
It's like use Americans have been getting it cheap for too long. These are going to have to join the era of the hybrid cars soon,
Like,
and it's going to happen.
do you realize here in the States? Do you realize how many people would have a lot of issues if we had to go through the motor inspections that you all have to over in Europe?
It's horrendous. It's horrendous.
We wouldn't be able to pull it off.
No, because 90% of your vehicles would go off the road by the end of the week.
Easily.
It's getting ridiculous here. They're actually the MOTs here is £85 for an MOT, but they're actually saying by 2026 the MOTs will be £400 to £500. That's just to see the garage. That's just to take your car in. They're trying to get everybody to get rid of their cars. They're getting rid of the road tax here. See how we have to pay road tax?
Yeah, you were saying that they were replacing it with a tire tax.
No. The tire tax is still staying on. They're replacing it with pay per mile. So if you drive like a mile, it's 17 pence or whatever. But I don't know how they're going to implement that for the older cars. Maybe for the modern cars, there's something built in, GPS built in there. But I bet you somebody invents something that you can cover it up with. And you can drive and they don't know it's there.
There is a way. I'm told it's easier for older cars like mine, say as an example, which is a 95 Cadillac, but to where you can fudge the odometer a bit.
Do you know that your car in this country, because it's
would
a 95,
not be allowed on the road?
It would be allowed on the road.
No.
In the UK, if it's over 20 years old, right, you don't need road tax and you don't need the MOT. Madness, isn't it? But if you've got a modern car, a new car, you've got to get an MOT. Just get your head round about that. So if your car's new, you've got to get an MOT. But if your car's really old, it doesn't need it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I'm sure they would
See what I'm
give
going
me
with that?
for all
It should
the
be
parts
that. It
issues
should be
that
that.
I have.
Oh, the parts, it's ridiculous getting parts. It's all the cheap Chinese shit for your cars now. And
Not even that. Most of the parts from my car are discontinued.
Aye.
I had to raid scrap yards.
Yeah. But it's the world we live in. They're trying to get rid of everybody's car. I was actually talking to somebody the other day there to get their car maps updated, and they were telling me that the work in the motor trade, and seemingly the government in the UK have passed a bill where they can kill your car by flicking a switch. Modern cars. Old cars like 2012s, mine's a 2012, that's fine. But cars for 2020, they can flick a switch and it kills it. It'll only start. See what I mean? It's just.
You have to take into consideration with everything that's being put into a lot of these newer cars, the safety features, all the fancy bells and whistles. That makes them more hackable.
Oh yeah. But see in the UK, I don't know if it's the same in the US, but see the Range Rover Sport, you know what I'm talking about, the new one. You can't get insurance for the Range Rover Sport here because it's so easily hackable. somebody can stand outside the Range Rover Sport with a laptop, hack it, start it up and open the door and drive away in it with a laptop.
I think that's why the UK outlawed the they call them little flipper devices. They're like
Now the
Tamagotchi
flippers,
hack
look at,
devices. Yeah,
aye.
I wanted to get my hands on one just to see what kind of chaos.
I would love
Dots.
a
I
flipper.
drive a '95 Cadillac DeVille, an Uncle Buck car.
God,
Hey, it runs and I fit. That's all I care about.
would you get about 14 miles to the gallon or something like that?
About 23, actually.
That's actually quite good. That 23 miles to the gallon.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah.
All the busted bolts and bits in it. It runs better than most people with the new cars.
It does. I was sitting in somebody's car one day. This is about a year ago, and I'm looking about, and I'm like, "What's that red button?" And the guy next to me is like, "I don't know," and it says SOS on it. I said, "What's that do?" So he pressed it, and all of a sudden it started going, "Warning, warning! We are phoning the police." It's
the roadside assistance.
And I thought, yeah, it was a roadside assistance, and there was a woman saying, "Hello, is there anything wrong?" She said, "I didn't get into this," so turned it off, and it was fine. But
It's one of those things where you say, "Oh, sorry, the kid was fucking around with the buttons. I'm sorry, we're all good."
I'm lucky that my car doesn't have that. Maybe no, unless I drive over a ravine or something like that, and I'm trapped, and my phone's not working. But they're saying that any car that's got that, the government can turn your car off.
That wouldn't take much.
See, they want to bring in a law that allows police to actually stop your car if it's stolen. They could just flick a switch and the engine dies.
Then I imagine it'd be on the owner to get the repairs to turn it back on.
Oh, there's people out here remap their engines. And it's to get rid of, see how you get cars that use AdBlue. You get what I'm talking about in the diesel cars that use AdBlue. They get their engines remapped so they don't need the AdBlue. Do you get what AdBlue is? I didn't care the other day. It's pig's urine. That's what it is.
Seriously?
It's pig's urine. If you read the back, it tells you what's in it. Pig's urine.
People are putting pig piss in their car?
Yes.
The fuck?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know the E10 petrol? The E10 petrol. If you get a 5 gallon, if you get a gallon drum, right, a clear one, and fill it full to the neck with E10 petrol, half of that is petrol, the rest is water.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Iron Firehorse, what's pig urine? Well, that's kind of self-explanatory. It's what a pig does, isn't it? It's like it lifts its leg, it cocks its leg.
Are they? I was like, are they being serious right now?
No, it's actually true. Look it up. It's pig urine.
No. I may have to once the show's over, but
yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah.
So,
did you have any shows planned for this week, man?
Yes, we did have a new class for the Bonkers Network Academy coming out, and another episode of France in the Files. Seems like people are quite intrigued with everything I've revealed so far.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go. I've not watched it. Your last one was if it was like Coors beer. I don't know if folk can drink that stuff. I think it tastes bogging.
I don't know. I don't drink.
There they are.
Now they're taking the piss out of pigs. Oh God, we better end this show, man. We're going off the rails.
We better go before we onk out. You know.
Okay. Hold on. Who's the guest next week?
That we got. Oh fuck! Give me a minute.
What was her name? You forgot a woman's name, Chris.
Shh.
I wondered you're single.
I'll tell you something now. I've not forgot her name. I've just Claire Broad. She's a medium, soul healer, and spiritual teacher. There you go. I brought it
Alright,
up with that thing.
yeah.
I say Clear Brody. Sorry, I think that's what it is. You know,
What on what day was that one?
I think it's Saturday. Is it not?
Well, it says we have our for the 25th, dude.
You sure?
That's what you have on the calendar.
Oh, that must be the right then. It must just be right then. Yeah, so it'll be the right. It'll be the calendar. Let me check. I'm getting old. Yep, Saturday the 25th. That is. Yep, no
Yeah.
problem. So it's no next week. What do you want to do next week? Why don't we have an open panel next week and discuss the world, strange things, pig
Yeah,
urine, clapping gators, tentacles, aliens coming from beyond, you know, all the kind of things.
oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
That does sound like a good idea, but I'll keep in touch with you because I can't remember what day it was, but I am needing out of town this week.
Unless you want to take this weekend off, Saturday and Sunday off. And
No, I've been invited to lantern thing for that officer that was killed over here.
oh, right, no problem. Yeah.
I can't remember what day it is though.
See, that's a terrible thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been great having you, but we're away now before we start talking about pigs and the
We're
Flat Earth
already going.
Society
We're already going
and
off on pig piss, so we may as well end the show
pig
now,
piss.
man.
I'm on to it anyway. I'm totally on to it tonight.
Yeah,
Cheerio.
I don't know. I got to work tonight, so
Yeah.
much love. Take care, and to all the mothers out there, happy American Mother's Day.
Aye, happy about my Mother's Day.
All right, much love. See y'all next.